Good day, viewers. You're welcome to Home Builders TV, and my name is Oluwasesan Isaac. With me today is
Wale Adewoye.
Thank you, and you're welcome, sir. Today's topic is a very special one, and it pertains to our youth, and it is titled God, the Perfect Matchmaker. When we hear matchmaking, it rings bell in the minds of a whole lot of youth, and that is why exactly we have brought a perfect guest to do justice to this topic. Sir, what is matchmaking?
In the context of what we are discussing, matchmaking is trying to make a bride out of a lady with a man we had in mind as the bridegroom or the husband to be, or to start from the man and try to matchmake to bring them together as husband and wife without considering whether that is the intention of God or not.
According to what you have just said, sir, then is matchmaking appropriate, either contemporary wise or biblical wise?
Thank God for those two distinguished classes that you give. In the world, matchmaking is vogue or in the vogue, but in the Christendom, though people practice it, I think we do it without knowledge of the intention of God, without the knowledge of who God is, without the knowledge of purposes of marriage, without the knowledge of the fact that God created marriage. But in the biblical sense, it is not good.
Good. It is not good. If in the contemporary wise is not good, biblical wise, it is good. Then, may I ask, sir, God's plan for man maritally?
If you want me to, if I may correct you, I said in the world, in the contemporary world, people allow it, they do it. But in the Christian world, biblically, it's not good.
Okay.
So that is that's the answer to the second question. But going by what you just said, I won't say God allows it, because we are created as images of God. Let me put it on. Man is created as image of God. So we have some attributes of God in us. One of that is the capacity or the ability to make choices. If God says this is the way and you decide not to take it, He will not force you. But as long as you are ready to live with the repercussion, there's no problem. But then let's re-emphasize it that that is not the way of God.
Good. It is not the way of God. Now, it's not possible for us to talk about matchmaking and not talk about marriage. They are like 5 and 6, because one definitely will lead to another. Now, if we are to relate it to Christian youth, sir, what is God's intention for man in marriage?
Actually, matchmaking in this context, I'm repeating it, relates to marriage. So we are really talking about matchmaking in marriage. And the intention of God for marriage can be found very well stated in the Bible. Genesis chapter 2, God said, it is not good for a man to live alone. Adam didn't pray for a helper. It was God. God saw what he did as not good enough. Before then, he said, what I've done is good. At the end of the first day, it was good. Down to chapter 2, when you now notice this particular one is not good. But please recall, Genesis 1, 26 to 28, male and female created he them. So that means at that point when God said it was not good or it is not good, that was the appropriate time to bring out the woman, because already he had created them male and female. That means that female gender class is already inside that male. So there is an intention of God for marriage, and at the appropriate time he brought the institution to be.
Now, thank you, sir. From your citation from the scripture, he made created them male and female. We see generally today that gay marriage has been legalized and a whole lot of things. From your end, how do you tackle that? How do you address that? How do we circumvent the situation so that our youth this day will not see it as the norm or as the normal thing in the society?
Let's just call a spade a spade. What is not good is not good. What is not biblical is not biblical. What is not godly is not godly. You just can't call evil good. Whatever may be the reason that is making a man to call a fellow man his wife, or is making a woman to call a fellow woman her husband, is just satanic. Just full stop. We don't have the luxury of time to be expanding and explaining. But if you go down into the Bible, just as I said, male and female created he them. And that is why the man will leave his father and his mother and cleave to his wife. And when Adam saw Eve, he noticed there was a big difference. Though the woman was taken from the man, but you notice this one is quite different. Different. So, well, let's just call it spade a spade. What is not good, it is not good. When we get to a social class or when we get to an appropriate place to be discussing the evils of gay marriage, the evil of same-sex marriage, to be told that. But this is a Christian organization, a Christian program. What is not good, what is not godly, is not godly. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. How can a Christian youth, sir, who wants to please God and want to follow the instruction of God when it comes to marriage, how can he or she understand the right person for his life when it gets to the junction of praying for a life partner?
You have just asked a very big question that will take hours to answer. Going through the Bible, going through the whole entire Bible, you notice that there have been various methods of a man getting a woman as his wife. But if you look at Genesis chapter 24, there is a classical example of Abraham telling his chief servant how he will pick a wife for his son Isaac. Now, let me just leave that as it is now and go straight to the point that, one, we are addressing Christian. You know, I'm really emphasizing this. Two, a Christian is somebody who has had encounter with Christ, is born again, and he knows that he is going to live to satisfy his God, to give glory to his God or our God. So, one, it is not even the issue of marriage. That the issue of personal relationship with God and talking to God leading you right from the day you are born again or you met Christ. So the issue of marriage just come in as secondary. If God is not leading you in other area and you are not taking God as God is supposed to be, and then gets to marry and you are just bombarding God with prayer and say marriage partner, you are being hypocritical. So let me just re-emphasize that relationship with God matters a lot. That is one. Two, for every person God created on this terrestrial ball, there is a purpose, there is a reason, there is a destiny that fellow to fulfill, is made to fulfill on earth. So listen very well. Those are the factors. The first one I said. The second one, the purpose for the birth of that fellow will determine who we might. For instance, let me give you an instance. Look at Prophet Hosea, because he's a prophet or he was a prophet, and God wanted to use the whole gamut of his living to send a message to the Israelites. God asked Hosea the prophet to go and marry a particular set of persons from a particular set of people, which now we will not agree. So what I'm saying is, but God, the fact that God was to use his life to send a message to the Israelites. Then let's look at Joseph and Mary. If Joseph or if Samson has been the husband to be of Mary or been the husband of Mary, Jesus wouldn't have come as he came. So these are things we should consider. There are a lot of reasons But to know the will of God starts from your personal relationship with God. From there, we now take it from there. We now move one step after the other. Doctrinally, we have so many doctrines concerning selection or knowing the will of God. But the fact still remains that you start from knowing the will of God, then you keep on building on it. Then you keep on training. If a man, you just don't sit down and be praying. You have to go out. The chief servant of Abraham went out. God said, whoever finds a wife, that's Proverbs, is it Proverbs 18, whatever verse. Whoever finds a wife, that means you don't find something where you sit down. You search for it. You inquire for her. So that's why I said you have a lot of time. We need a lot of time to discuss that. But what I will tell the youth of nowadays is the question of who you will marry, be it a male or a female, starts on the premises of the fact that, do I know God? Am I a child of God? The whole thing starts from there. If you miss that step, you are going to do anything. You are going to marry from the club. You may marry from the club. People marry it. People have done that. But you may marry from the club. You may marry from the street. And just as the Yoruba people will say, that means when you pick somebody wrongly, definitely you are going to lose that fellow to the context from which you pick the fellow.
Thank you, sir. You have been able to summarize a whole lot in just this few time. My last question, because of our time. We see God a perfect matchmaker. He brings this and puts together and builds a nation. But if we look at it today, may I ask, sir, do we have a perfect marriage?
Good question. Perfect marriage. It depends on the meaning you attach to the word perfect. If you are using the word perfect as it relates to God, then I may say we will not find. In the sense that our full perfection is in heaven. Our full salvation is in heaven. The man, in the context of using the word perfect in relationship with God, no man is in that wise perfect. But please don't misunderstand me. We are required to be holy. We are required to be holy as our God in heaven is holy. But the mere fact that we say we are holy, we are still in this flesh. We are still man. Our humanity has not been totally eradicated. So, in that context, if I say there's no perfect marriage, you say no. What I am saying is the wife, again, I'm going back to my first point, must be a child of God. The woman, the husband must be a child of God. And when they live according to the injunction of the Bible, according to the standard of the Bible, even if there's any problem, they will be able to overcome it.
Thank you, sir. One word for our youth out there who are seeking the face of the Lord for a life partner.
One word for them. You don't start thinking, searching, going out for your life partner when you are ready. You start early. Know God first. Know who God is. Know what is His program for you in the whole mega program of God. Know who you are. Then along the line, as you are growing up, you keep on telling God at the appropriate time, I want your best for my life. And the best of God is the best anywhere that you can get.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate you. Once again, I am Oluwase's son Isaac. Our viewers, we appreciate your time. You don't get to the river before you become thirsty. Make sure you know God first before you start searching for a life partner. God bless you. Once again, Daddy, you are welcome. Pastor Adewoye. The Lord bless you for us in Jesus' name.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for our time. Thank you for your time. God bless you.